Hello everyone, Amanda here. Thanks so much for joining me. So I'm on with part 2 of my Winter Whispers journal. In the first instance, I just want to say when it comes to the binding video, which was my new kind of binding idea, it is very much a prototype. Okay, it was mentioned, one lady said she wasn't keen that this is shorter than the covers. You can totally change it, okay? Use the idea, adapt it, do what you want with it, okay? This is a prototype. Just bear in mind that if you have the cardstock portions taller than your papers, so that it's the same as your cover, you'll need to centralise every single one of those signatures very carefully and make sure they're in exactly the right place. The way I did it, it gives you a little bit of a break from measuring, okay? So I filmed yesterday doing this and it was just a train wreck. So I'm going to show it you and then I'm going to video it again, and I'm just going to have to duplicate what I've done here, and I'm going to put the same thing on the back so that I can show you. I wasn't going to, but I'll have to. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. I don't know if it's the dreaded perimenopause or what, but it just, everything went wrong. So we've got a lovely shaker here with loads of room. Really, really pretty, okay? So in the video, I cut that wrong. I did this wrong. It wasn't sticking on. It was just a nightmare. I've deleted it. So I'll try again today. And then inside, we've just got simple here. You can journal on it, okay? We don't want to be packing it with heaps of stuff. And then these are cut aparts from the collection. A little 3x3 photos in there. And then, you know, I did my little tuck and my little banner that I seem to do on everything. Seems to be my little signature, this little banner. And it is magnetised, okay? So I'll show you the measurements for the one that I've done. Obviously, if yours covers are different measurements, just adapt it to yourself. Right, so we're starting off with a piece of cardstock that measures, I've got glue on there from somewhere. This measures 6 by 8, okay? And along the 6-inch side, we're scoring at 1/2 inch to create a flap. Okay, bob that to one side. Then we want a piece that measures 5.5 by 8, okay? We're going to turn it over and we're going to make lines. Now, we normally do this at 1/2 inch. I'm doing it a little bit wider so that the matting looks nicer. So I'm making a mark at 3/4 inch, okay, from the edge inwards, and I've drawn a pencil mark, and I've done the same thing on all 4 sides. Then you want to cut all of that out, okay? And then to mat it, you want a piece of paper that measures 1/4 inch. I've actually done this 1/8 inch. I've done it 1/8 inch because it's a small. I normally cut everything 1/4 inch shorter for my matting, but when it's something that's quite a small thing, like this is quite a small, okay, if we do 1/4 inch, you'll see too much black for my liking, so I've done 1/8 inch. So 1/8 inch shorter on the width and the height. So mine measures, it'll be 5 3/8 by 7 7/8, but let me check. Yeah, okay. And then on the back, we're not doing 3/4 inch, okay? We're going to come down 1/8 inch shorter. So there's your 3/4 inch. You want this 1/8 next to it. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8 inch, okay? May sound complicated, but it really isn't. If you just follow step by step, it really isn't. So 5/8 inch, and you're drawing your lines on all 4 sides. And again, you're going to cut that out, okay? I'm going to do that off camera because my eyes aren't working. Then you're going to need a piece of acetate, okay? You want to size your acetate so that it fits within what's going to be your frame. All right, so that it fits really, really nicely. You don't want it protruding, but you want plenty. I could probably take another 1/4 inch off of there if I wanted, but, you know, as long as it's shorter, okay? So I think I've cut this to 7 3/4 by 5 1/4, okay? As long as it's, so long as it fits within your frame, and also think that you want to put some tape. You don't want your tape showing, so make sure whatever you leave is wide enough for your tape as well. All right, so I can tape this up really quickly. All right, this is literally just layering on, so it doesn't matter. You know, this part is not going to keep your shakers in, so it's absolutely fine. This is just your window. Alright, so put your tape on all the way around. I'm using 3/8 of an inch tape there. And I'll just show you, if I lay it on, I'm going close to the edge so that when I lay it on, I can see where my pencil marks are, and I can see that when I stick that on, none of that tape is going to show because there's my border. So just double check that. So I'm just going to go and cut these out. I'm going to use a non-slip ruler and a blade, but you can absolutely use your scissors. If you've got good accuracy, you can use your trimmer, do what you want. So I'll cut these out and then we'll be back. Okay, so we're back. So I've cut my frame. So take your time when you're cutting your frames, okay? It's very easy to not get it perfect. And if it's not, just cut another one. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just cut another one, okay? It's very, very easy to not cut things exactly the same when you're cutting them by hand with a ruler and a craft knife. Okay, don't beat yourself up over it. Like I did yesterday. I did this frame about 3 times. I couldn't get it straight. I couldn't have saved my life for it. And if you get like that, like I've been getting kind of like confused and like my measurements are off and I feel like what's going on? And I do think it's to do with the perimenopause and your age. So, you know, if you experience that kind of thing or confusion or frustration, just walk away, okay, and come back to your project later. It's not you, okay? You're more than capable. You're just having an off day. I had it yesterday. Nothing I did was right. Nothing I cut was right. Everything looked pants. I was having to do things 3 times over. And you're just not productive when your mind's like that. So just walk away. Go do something else. Go for a walk. Okay, have a cup of tea and a warm bath. Just go do something else for a while. Okay, it will pass. Okay, it will pass. Might take about 15 years, but it will pass. I'm really suffering at the moment. Really badly suffering. With like confusion and brain fog and I'm like, I know how to cut a piece of paper. Why do I keep doing it wrong? What's wrong with me? Oh, dear me. All right. So, don't be hard on yourself. That's what I've told myself. Don't be hard on yourself. Okay? Right, so I'm going to layer that in. I'm going to have to be quick because this Nouveau glue doesn't give me a lot of wiggle room at all. And, you know, if you don't get it right and you've got to pull the paper off, it just, you're starting again. Right, so take your time. Okay, I've got that on. I'm happy with it. It's not perfect, but it's good enough, okay? It's good enough. Right. Happy with that. It's gone right today. I'm going to turn that over. I've got my acetate. I've got it taped up, ready to go. And get myself a pokey tool, okay? And what I always do to help myself out, because I don't always get things straight, I take the tape just off the bottom and then I lift the bottom up so that tape's not sticking to anything, and I'll use the bits that are not taped to help me line up, okay, and help me get it straight. All right, so let me have a look. Okay, so before I press, I'm checking that it's not protruding here and here. I'm checking it's not protruding there. I'm just move it over slightly, and I'm making sure that I'm not going to see this tape past the black cardstock. Okay, super important because there's no more frustrating. And then I will burnish that down really well, so that's not going anywhere now. Okay, so I can be totally confident that I can remove my other tape and just push it down flat. Okay, all right, so what I do is I will press it there. I'll hold it so that nothing shifts. There we go. Okay, lift it up. See, totally professional today. I'm absolutely shining. Yesterday, you would have thought I'd never crafted a day in my life. That's how it goes. Okay, and rather than heavily edit my video, I've just deleted it. I thought I'll start again tomorrow. Tomorrow's always a new day. Right, so remove this tape here. Okay, oops, I've just creased it. And give it all a really good burnish. And you can tell when it's burnished properly because you'll literally see that tape under the acetate, nicely stuck down. Left some tape in there, have I? Left a bit of tape in that far corner. Am I going to bother myself to go rescue it? No, I'm not. I'm not today. Right, so I don't want anybody laughing at my foam tape. This was one of those instances where I ordered something and I didn't quite comprehend how much I'd ordered. Okay, so, but you know, I'm not going to run out. Right, so we're going to foam tape, not to the edge, but close to the edge, closer to the edge than the frame. Okay, so let me show you. And this is lovely stuff because it's black. So when you look at the side of the shaker here, you've not got an ugly white core. You've got a black core. It just looks a bit nicer. So if you can get it, if you're using black card, then get that. So I'm going nearly to the edge, but not quite. Okay, just maybe 1/8 of an inch away. All right. So the important thing here, when you're doing this one, is to make sure you are marrying up the edges of the tape. So in some instances, you might just need to cut a sliver off to make sure it's straight again. Okay, so that marries up, so you've got a straight edge. Okay. So that there's no gaps for your shakers to come out. Okay. This is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Oh, I can't work under these conditions. Just ridiculous. Right, okay. Oh, dear me. But you'd be surprised how quickly you can get through foam tape, you know. So I can see a lot of shakers in our future. A lot of shakers. Okay. So that's going to go on there. I'm getting in it. See, I get myself also, find myself getting tangled up in things and like, I mean, I've got bad coordination at the best of times, but at the moment it's just ridiculously shocking. Really ridiculous. Okay. Right, let's move this out of the way. Okay. So I'm just going to, just gently, not too hard because I don't want to completely flatten my foam tape. I'm just going to run my burnishing tool over there. Okay. And I'm going to, so what do I want to do now? So now I could do with layering my image on. So make sure you know which way around you're going to go because I'm going on the back here. My flap's going to go there this time. Okay, so I want my flap to my left. Double check you've got things the right way. On this one, because it was going there, I had the flap on the right. Okay, so at this point, you want to really be getting your image down. So I've chosen this one, cut from some scraps. Okay, so I'm using up my scraps. So I'm just going to do a trial run with the frame before I glue anything down. I'm going to have a look. I'm going to lay that frame as if I've glued it down. Got some crud on it there from somewhere, I don't know. We're not going to worry about that. We've got bigger problems to deal with. Right, so I'm going to layer it down as if it's glued so I can see where that image is. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. So where that image is right now, I'm quite happy. Okay, so I know I can trim that much off the top. So let's just get that done. Okay. And then now I want to glue that, kind of central. Again, double checking that you've got it the right way up, that your flap's on the right side so that your image is not upside down to where you need it. Okay. A shaker is quite a basic thing, but there is quite a few things that you need to be thinking about. You've got to just be careful so that you're not wasting your time or wasting your supplies and getting yourself all in a frustrated mess. Okay, right, so I'm going to smooth all that down because I'm confident that's where I want it. Make sure all of that glue, that there's no seepage, and I would leave it to dry before you put your shakers in because you don't want your shakers sticking to any stray glue. Okay, Make sure that's all down nicely so there's no bubbles in it. And I would leave that to dry. Obviously I can't because I don't have time. So then you're going to get your shakers. So how am I going to do this? Let me think. I can't remember how I did it yesterday. I think I took the bottom off, okay, like I normally do, to help me line it up, okay. And then I'm just going to turn it this way, and I'm going to use the bit that's still got the backing on, and I'm going to line that up with the corner, with the outer corner, okay. And yeah, it's moving a bit. Outer corner. Okay, let me have a look. I'm happy with that. So now I'll press the bottom. So the bottom bit's adhered, okay. So now I can turn it over and I can put my sprinkles in there. Let's just use them all. It's nearly empty. There's no point saving them few, is there? You know, it's like people that leave a millimetre of milk in the bottom of the carton. You may as well have just drunk it. Right, so I'm just lifting my tape up. I'm going to pull it out, making sure all of those shakers are in. I'm pressing from there. I'm going to commit to there, and then I'm just going to gently pull that tape out. Okay, now that side's sealed. Okay, so now I can go in and I can do the top section maybe. Doesn't matter which way around you do it. Okay, I'm going to do the top now. Pulling that out. I'm going to press that corner and then gently remove my tape and press it so it seals. And now I've just got the bottom one to do, okay? Can be a bit tricky, but just take your time, okay? Maybe could have left one corner open a little bit better, but you can get in there with a pokey tool. Just start and prise that out, and then just make sure you haven't disturbed any of that foam tape and writhed any of that out. Okay, so there I've got my little bit. I can pull that gently so I don't rip the tape back in and end up having to prise it out again. Okay, and that's on there, and that's all done. Okay, just give it a gentle burnish to make sure that tape's down, but it's nice strong tape that, so it won't go anywhere. Okay, I'm confident in the quality of my tape. If you're not confident in the quality of your foam tape, add some extra tape on top of it, if you know what I mean. So that's the shaker. So then all you need to do is I'm just going to gently mitre these corners. So we're not going all the way down to the score line, about halfway. And then just because for some reason I was struggling to glue mine on here yesterday, I think it's the depth because I wasn't getting enough pressure to press the glue because of the chunky, because of this. But I just figured it was easier to construct it before putting it on the book. But it's up to you. Okay, so I'm going to use my tape. Okay, so I want tape on this bit here. Closer to the cut edge than the scored edge, if you know what I mean. And make sure your tape goes all the way up to the end. Make sure you don't have any overhang. I'm going to give that a burnish to make sure it's down properly. Okay, and then I can remove it. And I'm going to have to be super careful, all right, and make sure we get it in the right place the first time. You can use glue. For some reason, my glue didn't want to attach yesterday. I don't know if it was just me or what, but everything else is attached, so it's not the tape that I'm using. I don't know what it was. So I'm making sure which way up my book is, double checking, triple checking. Okay. And this wants to go central. So you're looking top to bottom and you want the same space top to bottom as you do between the edge of here and the edge of your book. That's how you'll get it. So just do one corner first. Okay, and get that right. And then the rest will follow. Okay. Hopefully that's gone down right. And I'm just going to open it and put in my hand underneath. And I'm going to burnish. Okay. And that's down nicely. So now I've got a shaker at the front and the back. You don't have to do that. And then you just want to place your magnet. Where's my magnets? Here we go. Right, so placing your magnet, I have actually done a pocket here in this one. I don't know if I want it in the back, but I'll give you the measurement of this pocket. Now I measured this pocket quite small so that when this is shut, you can't see it. So I haven't done it the full width of the cover. So let me give you the measurements if you're doing it my size. If you're doing your own sizes, just think about sizing it so that when that cover's shut, you're not seeing the edge of the pocket here, okay? So I sized mine to, what have I done? About 5 1/4. Let's say 5 1/4 plus an inch, because you've got a flap on each side, 6 1/4. Okay, then I've done that one by 4. Okay, so 6 1/4 by 4. Put it in your scoreboard, 6 1/4 along the top, score a 1/2 inch each end, turn it onto the 4-inch side and score at 1/2 inch. Fold your flaps, cut across the X, make a pocket. I've done it a million times. I don't know if I want a pocket in my back section, okay, because I've already got it in the front, but that's how I did it, okay? And then I am going to have a magnet, so I will show you how to, it's there. So I'm going to have my magnet, let me think, I might actually do like a side. So I would normally place my magnet there, okay? I'm not going to actually add it because I don't know if I want to do a side pocket. So I don't want to place my magnet fully yet because I only make one of things. So if I'm showing you on YouTube, this is my finished one, okay? There's no second takes. So you'd put your magnet there, you put tape on. Then with the tape on, you put your second magnet over the top, okay? Oh, it doesn't want to. Second magnet over the top, put a tiny dot of glue, then close it. And that dot of glue will transfer and leave you a gluey dot. So then you take that second magnet off the top, you turn it over, you put it on the gluey dot and add tape. Okay, and that's how you add your magnets. When you're adding your magnets, don't add them, yeah, too close to the edge of anything. Or too close to the edge of there, okay? Because that is a little bit thick. It's only 1 millimetre, I get very thin ones, but your paper won't glue down nicely if you don't leave a big enough gap. So I always try and come in at least an inch or 3/4 of an inch. How far's that? I'd have mine about there. What's that? Yeah, it's just under an inch, okay? Because you want to make sure that you've got room for your paper to adhere down really nicely, okay? There's your magnet tip for today. So that's all I'm doing for today because I know that my headspace is not in the best place, okay? So I'll go away and I will think carefully about what I'm going to do on the inside cover because remember we wanted these as just slim writing journals. We've already got some interaction there. We're going to have interaction with the other elements that's going in the box with this. So we don't need heaps. We've also got this pocket in the middle here, okay? And we've got another, did we get another one at the other side? No, we've just got one, but we have got one pocket in the middle there as well that we can, oh yeah, we've got two. So we've 2 pockets to decorate and fill. So there's going to be quite a lot going on, okay? So we're keeping this clean and simple. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. But I think that's nice, okay? So that's it for today. I will be back. I will rest over the weekend and we will be full steam ahead with the rest of this project because it needs finishing by midweek next week at the very latest because I've got other projects to share with you. So take care and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.